Okay, so let's talk about the book of Revelation. It's filled with some of the most powerful and, let's be real, some of the most confusing language in the entire Bible. It paints this picture of an incredible destiny for believers, but the imagery can feel like a riddle. So what if we could crack the code and see what it's all really promising?
I mean, just listen to these promises from Revelation chapter 3. Walking in white, your name kept safe in a special book, a brand new name written on you. It sounds amazing, right? Poetic, profound. But what does it actually mean?
So what is this all about? Are we talking about literal white clothes? Some kind of cosmic attendance sheet? A new ID card for heaven? That's the big question we're going to tackle in this explainer.
You see, these aren't just pretty words thrown on a page. They're very specific promises. And understanding them means understanding the ultimate destiny they're describing. Think of them like a puzzle, and we're about to put the pieces together.
Okay, but here's where things take a surprising turn. Most of us think of Revelation as this crystal ball for predicting the end of the world, right? But to get these promises, looking forward is actually the wrong way to go.
Yeah, you heard that right. The real secret, the key to unlocking all these riddles, is to look backward. The answer isn't in what's going to happen, but in what's already been written.
And that key? It's the Old Testament. Seriously, think of it like the source code or the dictionary for the whole book of Revelation. It's where all the symbols get their meaning.
You have to remember, John, the guy who wrote Revelation wasn't just making this stuff up from scratch. He was using his Bible, what we call the Old Testament, to explain these huge cosmic ideas he was seeing in his vision. All right, so now that we have our key, the Old Testament, let's go back to those puzzling promises. We're going to unpack 3 of these big ideas and see how their ancient roots reveal a destiny that is way, way bigger than you've probably ever imagined.
First up, crowns and white garments. When you hear crowns in heaven, what do you picture? Probably some kind of trophy for good behavior, right? Like you won the Good Person of the Year award. Well, it turns out that's not the picture at all.
Just look at the direct link here. Revelation's white garments are a direct callback to the prophet Daniel, who said the faithful would be made white at the end of days. And that color, white, it's not just about being pure. It's about belonging to the heavenly realm itself. And this is the absolute game changer. The white garments and the crowns aren't rewards. They're the uniform, the insignia of a brand new status. It means you've been transformed into a member of God's divine council, a co-ruler in his heavenly family. That is huge.
And if you want to know just how high that status is, check this out. In Revelation, you've got angels all over the place, right? But guess what? They never get crowns. Believers do. This points to an unbelievable destiny, a higher position of authority that's promised to us.
Okay, riddle number 2, the book of life. A lot of us picture this as some fixed, unchangeable list, right? Your name was written in it before time began, or it wasn't. End of story. But is that really what the text is saying?
To get this, you have to understand a key idea: believing loyalty. This is not a one-and-done deal. It's not about saying a prayer one time and then you're good to go forever. It's about an ongoing, active trust and allegiance to the gospel.
So let's just walk through the logic here step by step. Step 1. We know a heavenly book exists. Step 2. Revelation says a name will not be blotted out. Now think about that. The very fact that it could be blotted out tells you something important. It means your spot in the book isn't guaranteed forever from the start. It's conditional. And the condition isn't being perfect, it's that ongoing believing loyalty. So the book of life isn't a static list, it's a dynamic record of who is actively loyal. All right, now for our third and honestly most challenging puzzle. This verse from Revelation 3, it can sound really, really harsh. It talks about making opponents from the synagogue of Satan come and bow down at your feet. What on earth could that mean?
And once again, the Old Testament is the key. In Isaiah, there's a prophecy that Gentile nations would one day bow to Israel. John grabs that exact prophecy and flips it on his head in this stunning, ironic twist. See, the outsiders who were supposed to bow down were the Gentile nations. But John says no. Now the outsiders are the ethnic Israelites who reject the Messiah, and they'll bow before the true people of God, the church, made of both Jews and Gentiles.
What we're seeing here is a great reversal. The line that separates insiders from outsiders isn't about your bloodline or your ethnic heritage anymore. It's all about faith.
Your allegiance to the Messiah is what defines who's really in God's family.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together now. We've decoded the white garments, the book of life, and this great reversal. So what's the big picture? What's the ultimate destiny being promised here?
Well, first off, it's way bigger than just getting individual rewards for being a good person. It's not about that at all.
It's about a fundamental change in your very identity. That new name being written on you, that signifies you are becoming someone entirely new.
And this new identity is all about family. It's about being adopted into God's heavenly family, becoming a member of His divine council.
And that, right there, is the ultimate destiny. The whole point isn't just to be saved from something, but to be elevated to something incredible, to be a co-ruler with Christ Himself.
And that leaves us with one last massive question to think about. You see, all these mind-blowing promises are for the one who overcomes. So if the destiny is that high, to be family, to be royalty, to be co-rulers, what does that say about what it means to overcome in our lives today? What does it mean for us to hang on, to keep that believing loyalty right here and right now?